probably should have got that huge. I have like a huge color. Nice.
Thanks. I appreciate that.
Hey everybody, how's it going? So yeah, we're at this event over here at the Inglewood Police Department called GO WITH the POPO. So yeah, I'm here with my friend Kimberly, and we're hanging out, and she's sipping on some cocoa, and we're just going to see what this is all about. And yeah, I don't know. I guess we're in for like a 2-hour ordeal here. I don't know. Could be the world's most boring stream. Could be the world's most exciting and informative stream. We'll see how it goes. That's the new chief of police here, Dave Jackson. This event starts at 3 o'clock.
We're with the art department over. Oh, great. So double
Probably gonna need me a pen from over there. Oh, look who's here. Sergeant Ed Disner. This is the punk that's threatening to sue people for posting videos and filing complaints. You never know when you're going to be in a room full of dirty cops what to expect, so pay close attention. And there's his boss, Tracy Jones. So check this out. This is a stack of records that I just got from the Inglewood POPO, having to do with exactly the topic of this meeting. Getting a presentation from the dispatch crew. For those of you that follow, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Oh, and yeah, this is a Bring the Kids event. You know, it's the messaging that the police use when they're trying to gain support. Yeah, bring your children so we can impress you as we entertain your children, and you think we're the good guys. That's how that goes. This would be the department that can't turn on its commenting on its Facebook page because it's such a disaster. Yeah, that's the fire marshal.
Okay, now you're gonna be going down the chute. That feels really good, okay?
parka in here.
And don't worry. Let me go get you. Yeah, hold on. I'm going into the event. I'm with you. You'll be a
Yeah, and the air conditioner is on in here. It's real comfortable. I'm sure that's part of the programming. Oh, Stephanie Carlisle, the clerk, and Tim Dodd, the assistant city manager. So yeah, there's like 3 times the amount of government employees here as there are to, you know, lowly peasant citizens. So this is an event for the city. So, I don't know what the schedule is. If this is from 3 to 5, there's supposed to be a special presentation at 3:45. I wouldn't dare bring my grandchildren to something like this. That would be a F to the no. Capital F UCKNO.
Have a damn Minecraft car. First wakes up, then jumps down all the way.
I guess this is just kind of a daycare event. I don't know. A daycare event, free childcare. Yeah. So at any rate, how is everybody? Yeah, so Carolina. Yeah, I saw this news about Carolina again. Boy, I'll tell you what, I just, I don't know what to say about that. Do you follow Carolina and Fort Worth down there in Texas? Her channel? Yeah, that's a wild deal. Okamo, Irish, thank you for being in here. Much appreciated. Frozen Rainbow. Yeah, they're pretending. Pretending real good. So I think this is a designed diversion tactic for the new chief. There's fuzzies in the air. A diversion tactic to try to gain, you know, acceptance and look at us, we're super nice and all of that fun stuff. What's going on out there, Josh? Did you get some cookies? You good? Yeah, I don't know. It's just kind of like a free daycare event to me so far. I don't know. I guess we have to wait until 3:45 for the presentation. Yeah. Go round up some friends. You got free food. I mean, cookies and Josh isn't going to touch free food from the police. Oh, so hey, everybody, for those of you that were at that city council meeting, January 6th, where we watched the cop start a case report, when I told him it was his duty to go arrest the mayor, I got that case report. Let's read it. I haven't even read it. Okay. we go.
We have to torture it?
Yeah, Kajiana went ahead and put it together. Dan Shelley approved it. I knew nothing about this. I knew nothing about it being open and closed and everything. Of course, nobody contacted me.
You guys are going
We just,
loco on the cocoa.
we just need the color black.
Here we
We
go.
did all of them.
Incident report. Incident report. On 1/6/2025 at approximately 19:20 hours, I was working as security for the City of Inglewood City Council meeting. While seated at the security desk, I was approached by a party that I know through numerous previous contacts as Benson Regan. Like the last previous contact being that you ended up in the arrest warrant, Kajiana, for the case that's since been dismissed. Yeah, is that how you knew me? Benson advised me that her First Amendment rights had been violated, and she asked me if I was going to go arrest the mayor. She advised that she had signed up for public comment to speak at the meeting, and she was not allowed to speak. I advised her that when that meeting was over, I would retrieve the sign-up sheet and photograph it and look into the matter. You were there, right? Okay. We're just having our adult fun time over here. The kids are over there.
Let me see it.
Did you bring any margaritas? Did you bring in our bottled margaritas? Yeah, where's the adult beverage station? Earlier this evening, she had asked me where the sign-up sheet was, and there wasn't one set aside for the public to sign up. I advised her that I hadn't seen one, and she went inside the chambers, presumably to find the sign-up sheet. She told me that she had signed up as required. She advised that on the name line of the sheet, she had written Regan. She advised on the city address line, she had written Rough and Ready. I asked her if she wanted to make a formal report, and she advised that she would. I provided her with my business card and the case number. She advised me that she wanted Detective Lee to investigate the case, as he was good at writing warrants. That's the dumbass that's written the last 2 warrants for me.
Or tattoo it there.
Like on the phone with Tamara T. Niles. Yeah, Aaron Glee, he's really good at writing warrants. I advised her that I would make a note, but could not guarantee he would be assigned. I attempted to locate the city of Rough and Ready, Colorado. See, these cops are just dumb. They're just dumb. I did not find any city by that name. I did find a farm by the name Rough and Ready, located in Longmont. Located in Longmont, Colorado. Dude, you really not even know how to use Google, Kajiano? I mean, the city of Rough and Ready's got its own damn Wikipedia page. Oh, this is good. I wonder what the Okay, so I photographed the sign-up sheet and later uploaded the video into Veripic. I haven't heard of this system, Veripic. On the sheet, I observed that she had written Regan and Rough and Ready on the sheet. On the sign-up sheet, there's a line which states, non-Inglewood residents must provide the city you reside in. If you do not provide this information, you are not eligible to speak at public comment at this meeting. That's the end of the report. This is what I'm talking about. And you're supposed to trust these people with making life and death decisions. Somebody just Google Rough and Ready, please. The stupidity. Did you hear that? There's not a city called Rough and Ready. It's Colorado located a farm in Longmont, Colorado. Rough and Ready.
Well,
The city of Rough and Ready has its own damn Wikipedia page. It's all over Google. It's a great place. I reside there from time to time. It's in California.
So you put that down?
They asked for the city of residence. I reside some of my time in Rough and Ready. Check the place out. I was fully compliant. And his investigation included
The farm.
him looking for a Rough and Ready, Colorado.
Are you at the apartments as well?
I take it he's not going to be making a. Well, he'll probably make detective. He'll probably make lead detective soon. You guys, I mean, for the entertainment value, I don't know. I don't even know what to say. What do I say? They're so stupid. Stupid. Daniel, thank you. Much appreciated. Yeah, Lucky 225. How you been? Yeah, Rough and Ready, California. They actually seceded from the Union, and they were their own unincorporated little utopia in California.
Really?
Yeah. There's some places like that in California. Another one of them is Slab City. Have you heard of Slab City? So you know my little Chihuahua? Her name's Slabby. She comes from Slab City. And that's another unincorporated area out in the desert in Central California. And it's literally, there's all kinds of YouTube videos on it about just kind of nomad living out there. And a lot of the homeless just go out there to live and be left alone.
Right.
Right? And Slabby's owner, Peter, lived out there in Slab City with his wife, and she died. She died out there in Slab City. Yeah, which is rough because, yeah, they don't send police out there for much other than deaths, right? And so he came back to Colorado. He was originally from Colorado, and brought Slabby with him. And then,
A lot here.
huh?
You went through a
He
lot
went
here.
through a lot here too. I mean, you know, he lived in his van. Peter, you know, he made those decisions to do that. He had a terminal diagnosis. He was very handicapped. And, you know, he lived his life. He didn't bother anybody. But we had a bit of a falling out when he decided to act like he didn't see that assault that happened to me. That's the guy stood right there and assaulted me. That was Peter right there. And, you know, he's got to live out there. He's got to live with those people, right?
Yeah.
But what he did was wrong. And we quit talking. And I took Slabby and got her fixed. I got her shots. I did everything. Got her chipped for him so she wouldn't get lost. So we were already kind of connected. And he died. I knew that they had taken him from his van to the hospital, and I got in touch with his daughter, and she eventually said that she wanted Slab to come with us. Yeah, but that's why I just kept her name, Slabby, from Slab City. Yeah,
Absolutely.
Slab City, California. Well, this is quite the eventful event. So here's the rest of the $100 I've spent on records. For the neighbors around 5280. Continuing to call the cops. So what they're actually doing, this is like textbook definition of swatting.
I try to stay away. I try not to.
So when you use the police
Get in
to,
trouble.
go out and do your dirty work, and you use all the police resources, typically, swatting has the reputation of sending SWAT, but what they do is just utilize the entire department, and they just make all these frivolous calls. Yeah, they make all these frivolous calls, but what's going on here as the result of these calls is what is more concerning. So, but I brought these because I thought this was going to be the right venue to ask about why, when you call emergency services here in Inglewood, sometimes your caller name is revealed and sometimes it's
I
not.
don't know. What is it?
And,
Well, is it dispatch here today?
well, this is the whole program on dispatch. I don't know. It's 3:30. I'm good, thank you.
What are you, you mentioned that you were concerned about something that you had going on.
So, when I walked in the door, I showed you this stack of stuff.
Yeah.
So this is $100 worth of records that I just paid for. And I think we need to probably talk about the results of this. Of course, not here, but my specific questions for dispatch are why some call takers are revealed and some are not, and why it is unacceptable.
What do you mean?
By name.
Like when they answer the phone.
What is my favorite catchphrase?
So I have a medical call in here, and I gave my name when I called, and it's not revealed in the report. I'm being told that in those cases, it's probably because the caller requested that, which that was not, I did not do that. So it makes me really want to understand where some of these CAD reports are showing no caller or no phone number, but yet all kinds of call notes. Records told me that, of course, anyone has the ability to call dispatch and not identify themselves and ask to report anonymously, which I can respect that to a point. There's Samaritan law protections, there's all kinds of things like that that apply. But when we're continuing to use the Inglewood Police Department as a swatting operation, and you're calling in anonymously, at what point is it going to be required for the callers to identify themselves for follow-up? Because if you're calling for police response, you expect the police to respond. Well, if the police respond, then they need somebody to follow up with on that response.
Do they need your phone number or something? Like,
I don't know. I would assume it's in the audio.
so you can call like when?
No, nothing in here for that.
Well, I don't think it would be public,
Well, some of them are.
but
Some of them are.
I
Absolutely.
wonder if you can call where they call it from like a Wi-Fi line, you know what I'm talking about?
A burner phone. I mean, there's all kinds of things you can do to not have to identify yourself. You can call dispatch. Now, if I hypothetically used a burner phone and called emergency services for any entity in law enforcement, and I said that I was going to perform some heinous act, you'd hunt me down. You would hunt me down if I hypothetically did that. That's a crime. If I called and threatened violence, that is a crime.
Yeah, but I bet people do that, I would assume.
You think people do that on the regular here in Inglewood and that doesn't get investigated?
Yeah, that was it.
Yeah.
I would assume people call and say.
Respectfully, do you want to start earlier?
Yeah. We can start early. Yeah. Can I ask you a question, like you're asking me a reasonable question in a reasonable way, and try to figure it out? There might be some dispatchers here that can, I don't know the answer to your question. Can I ask you something?
Sure.
When you council. What's the goal?
To exercise free speech and to convey what I think about you and exercising my free speech to do so.
I just,
Are you offended by it?
it's been a couple long time.
Uh-huh.
I would say, really, I think sometimes you have some valid concerns and some valid perspectives and things to talk about. And I wish that they would be able to do that, but I think sometimes the delivery hinders good communication and feedback.
Have you seen their delivery?
Not really, I'll be honest with you.
So don't judge me.
I'm not judging.
Yeah, you are.
I'm really not
And I
trying to.
don't need a father.
Not trying to be.
I'm an adult.
Okay. All right, we'll do our.
Who is it? Bradley? Mulder?
She didn't arrest me. The 3rd of July, she was Monday to a call on fireworks. So they showed up to the property. There is a difference. And I had to educate her.
So she remembered you from previous contact?
But she didn't remember what the contract was. So when she said, where are you from? Why are you working with me? I said, oh, because you responded to a call about fireworks on the 3rd of July. And she goes, oh, was I nice? Yeah, exactly.
That is something that I want to be able to do. I cannot do it.
Show up to town and start questioning
Right,
the citizen
right.
that his department has twice falsely arrested.
Well, I want to welcome everybody to the Inglewood Police Department, GO WITH the POPO. I will say, my name is Dave Jackson. I am the Chief of Police here in Inglewood, and I have been here since November. I'll introduce Stacy Durbin. She is our community relations manager, that put all of this together and coordinated it all and got all of this done. And so I thank her very, very much. And one of the things, if you look at law enforcement throughout the country, one of the things that we're really trying to do is get out into the community, and I realize that we're hosting this particular event, but we also want to get out and meet everybody where they live and where they work and where they interact. So as the weather gets nicer, we're hoping to do some more events just to kind of get out and engage with the community, get out and get to see people when it's not kind of hostile situations and not calls for service. And I think it's a really good way to develop legitimacy and develop rapport with our community. We really serve the community, so it's a really good way to just get out and know people when tensions aren't high or things are going poorly or in a difficult way. So I really appreciate people that come out here to these things and support these things and volunteer for these things. And we can reach some young folks that even know how to color and draw pictures better than I do, which was very impressive. I'm very impressed with the artwork out of this crew. So one of the things, or I think that the main focus of today is to talk about communications. I will say I've been in policing for 28 years in various forms and various roles. The one job that I could not do is answer 911 calls at dispatch. It is one of the most stressful, high-intensity jobs out there, and you are like there's really nothing you can do about it, and you absorb all of the stressful calls that come in, and they're done in a timely manner. I came from a different agency that really struggled with hiring and maintaining our dispatchers and call takers, and had a hard time. There's national standards about how quickly calls should be entered and then dispatched, and Our response times are very, very good here in Inglewood. That's one thing that we do a great job of, and our staffing levels are very, very high. So the communications unit at Inglewood specifically does a fantastic job. And does somebody want to come up and kind of talk about some of, or a lot of what they do?
All right, I'm gonna have you little ones sit here. Come here. Right here. Take a seat. I want you up here. Come on. Where's your sister going?
Oh,
Hey, sunshine. Come on.
Use the bathroom.
Okay, you go do that. That's important.
More point than listening.
All right, my name is Julie. My partner's name is Brittany, and we are 911 dispatchers at the Inglewood Police Department. And we're gonna just talk about a few things that we do up there, okay? We're gonna put on our slides here. All right, so calling 911. What's important about calling 911? Raising your hand, that's good. Go ahead.
And you get the number right.
What number?
I don't.
Yes. Very good. Yes, you are 100% right. What is the other thing that you think we would ask you to get help to you?
Oh, a number and a stripe of the house.
Right, what is that called? It's your address. So let's say the address of the police department is 3615 South Alati. So the dispatchers answer the line and we say 911, what is the location of your emergency? So do you know your address? You don't know your address? Do you know your
I
address?
have to.
Okay, I'm gonna give you homework. You want me to give you homework? I want you.
I already have so much.
So do I.
don't even have to get any more.
Well, this is easy. I want you to learn your address. And the best way to learn your address is do it with a rhyme.
Well, where's home hill?
It's the best. Because
That's the worst.
if I don't know where you're at, do you think I could send the police to help you or paramedics?
I mean, you could track the number of caller.
You've been spying on me, haven't you? Yes, you're
Yes,
right.
I have.
We do have ways to find out where you're at through different programs that we have. But it is very accurate, but we still have to verify where you are. We have to still make sure that we know where you are. So, go ahead.
It's also because he's been here like too many times.
Okay, well, I'm happy he's here. So, just a small little project. I want you to go home and I want you to learn your address. It's super, super important. Because if mommy or daddy was hurt or your brother was hurt and you need to dial and you need to tell us where you're at, that's how I send help to help you. Yeah, that's true. You're gonna learn it from me? Promise me? Okay. So your address, we're gonna ask your name, and then we're gonna ask what's going on. So what's the emergency? My mommy fell down, or daddy caught the backyard on fire, or something like that. You've caught the backyard on fire, haven't you? It's okay. So, and then your phone number. Now, when you do call 911, your phone number does pop up on our screens. We are able, but we still have to verify it, just in case the line gets disconnected and we have to call you back. It's very, very important, okay? So make sure you know your address and your phone number for me. Go ahead.
I have a question.
Absolutely.
Do you guys know how to translate Gen Z?
What?
Gen Z.
What's Gen Z?
It's a new gen that it's.
Well, that's a good question. So we do have people that call in that speak Spanish, Russian, Mandarin. We have a certain phone, we have a line that we call. We transfer the caller to that and we say, we need a translator for Spanish. That way they can answer the questions that we are asking through a translator. Does that make sense? Okay.
I don't know if
Go ahead.
there's Gen Z of that yet, but.
Yeah, I'm not sure we have Gen Z yet,
I
no.
mean, Gen Z is a type of English.
Yeah.
No,
I'll look into that for you.
They know when to.
So what are some other reasons that we call 911? My partner did highlight a couple. My parent is sick, my mom fell, she needs help right now. Do you think we would call 911 if we need help with our homework?
No.
No, that is the right, that is the right answer to my question. If you're lost, if you don't know where you are, is that something you call 911 for?
Yes.
Yes. That's
I
good.
mean, just look at the English streets one, and then you know.
Good job, yes.
Would you call 911 because my brother's being mean to me?
No.
Yes. But that is something that
I mean,
officers could help out
sometimes
with.
it's abuse. Or just tell your parent.
That is true. If you have a good relationship with your parent and you do feel you can trust them with that information, absolutely. You should call your parents or talk to your parents about that, but if it's not a life-threatening emergency, we wouldn't call 911 for that, but we can help out. If someone is bleeding very badly, would you call 911?
Yeah.
Yes. Good job.
Can you think of another reason why you call 911? If there's like a bomb.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. That would definitely qualify as a 911 call.
Yes. If your backyard is on fire.
So we answer the phones, okay, and we have probably up to 7 to 8 computer screens in front of us. What we manage all the time, not just that, okay? We put the information into a computer, which is called CAD, Computer Aided Dispatching. Once that call goes in, the dispatcher that is on that channel will dispatch officers to your house, to the park, to the school, to send help, okay? Police officers are called over the radio, we raise them and then we send them. And police officers or firefighters will go to the address, depending on what the scenario is, okay? Any questions? You have one, go ahead, sweetheart. That's okay, I won't let you.
So what happens if we call 911 on accident? So you say 911 and you quickly hang up. What happens?
They might think that when you're like in trouble or hurt really bad.
Yeah, absolutely. So our job when we get a 911 call into the center, regardless of how long it rings, is even if it rings really quickly and you hang right up, we have to call that back just to verify you don't have an emergency. So if you do call 911 on accident, it's totally fine. It happens all the time. We get pocket dials, we have people who drop their phone, their Apple Watches set it off. It happens literally all the time. So just stay on the line, just tell us that everything's okay, and we'll let you go on your way.
Okay.
How many calls do you think you get a day? I would say 5% of our call load, I think a day is a 911 hang up.
Yeah.
So it
Yeah.
happens all the time. I would say hourly, sometimes depending.
If you have smaller children, please don't give them your phone.
Yes.
Because that's usually what happens is the child is, they don't know what they're playing with and they hit the SOS button. So.
I'm typing in my password and stuff.
Okay, does anybody have any questions about what we do? Did you remember your question?
Yes. How many people do you think you have to do? Every
You mean
single day?
every single day?
Just for one day.
A lot.
Like how many people call 911 on one day?
Yeah.
I would probably say that anywhere from 65 to 75% of our calls are 911 calls. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean that they're an
Talk about
emergency.
first 911 calls.
Do you know what that is? That's a good
Ooh, that's a
question.
good question. Could you say that out loud?
Yeah. Say that question out loud.
When you guys call us.
The reverse 911?
Yeah.
So when we do a reverse 911, we have a program that's called Code Red. And we can send out pages to all of our officers. We have to call SWAT, negotiators. But if the neighborhood, if they're working a situation in the neighborhood, we are able to triangulate where that emergency is and we can send out an emergency, it's kind of a message saying, we're working an incident, please remain in your home, keep your doors closed, all that kind of stuff. Then we will send another one to say, it's all clear, it's all safe, you're able to go on with it.
Basically, yippee skibbity.
Just that, I wish we said that. I would like that, go ahead. Scott? Well, think about it, I'm gonna be sitting over there if you need it. What are we gonna learn?
Oh.
What are we? Address, yeah. We're gonna merge. Address, right? Do you know your address?
IDK.
Okay, you need to learn your address for me. Promise? Promise to learn your address? All right, any other questions? Even the adults, anybody? No?
There's a question in the back.
I feel like we're the ones that ask.
Is there, what if you need help but it's not an emergency? Is there a, do you always call 911 or is it different? Or is it-
There is a non-emergency line and it is on our website. It is 303-761-7410. No, you can just go like on, if you wanna look at our non-emergency number to find it, that's where you would go. Can I what?
Can you ask Siri or whatever?
If
We might actually do that.
you might be able to ask that. Well, let me tell you something else. So Inglewood, sorry, go ahead.
Can I get in trouble for calling on something that's not an emergency?
No, absolutely not. No, no matter what it is, if you dial 911, I'm gonna send you help. And if it's a non-emergency line, I'm gonna send you help. It doesn't matter what you call, I'm here to help you, period. I forgot what I was gonna say now, but that's a good question. What was the question you asked, Stacy?
Non-emergency line.
Oh, yeah. And so here is the question I have for that one is.
Hi!
Mitchell, come on.
Hi, Mitchell! Mitchell! Come here. Here.
Obviously, they're friends. There are people that dial the non-emergency line that have emergencies, so we always answer. If it's not an emergency and we are busy, we will say, Inglewood, please, do you have an emergency? If you say no, then we're gonna place you on a brief hold. I have answered a lot of emergency calls on the non-emergency line, so it does happen, so. Any other questions? No? Remember our addresses, they're my addresses. All right, thank you. You wanna do it again? We have more kids. All right.
Hi, new friends, welcome.
Hi. You're popular. I'm just gonna throw that out there. They're really liked. Do you know what 911 is? Do you know what 911 is? You don't know what that is? Do you know your Mom, just let her take it. You're gonna take control. Do you know your address? She said, do you know your address? Do you know your address?
We're working on it.
That's fine. You know, it's very important because if you were gonna call for help, if someone was hurt at your house, I need to know where you're at. So I need you to learn your address. I'm gonna give you homework. Have you had a homework before? Well, I'm, these kids like homework. They don't like your homework.
Because it takes away less time to be playing video games until 1 in the morning.
That is true. That is true. Do you know your address, sweetheart? You do? What is your address? Call you, that's what you're gonna give me, okay? Mommy gets hurt, or daddy gets hurt, or something like that. Okay, well, just in case you have a phone, that's what you're gonna do, okay? Knowing your address is very important when you call 911. What else would you call 911 for? What's his name? Mitchell. What else would you dial 911 for? You don't know? Never had to dial it before? Okay, do we dial 911 just for fun? Do you dial 911 just for fun? No, very good. What if you do it on accident? Like, you accidentally dial it. I want you to stay on the line. Because if you hang up, I'm just gonna call you back and say, this is Julie from the Inglewood Police Department, do you have an emergency? So I would, see, there you go, so I'd rather you stay on the line and talk to me so I know that you don't have an emergency, okay?
What else can we tell the dispatcher? when we're calling
Mitchell.
911?
We have a question for you.
You're being called out, Mitchell. Alright, Mitchell, so say you call 911 and you give my partner your address here, you tell her your name, what else would you tell her? Well, we wanna know what's going on, so what's wrong? Why did you call 911 today, Mitchell? Is your mom sick? Did she fall down? Is she bleeding? Anything like that? It's an emergency.
Yeah, Mitchell, it's an emergency. What are you gonna do? It's an emergency.
Mitchell,
It's an
what would you do if
emergency.
I fell down and hit my head?
Fuck.
There you go. Good job.
Got that? You're right. Yeah.
Grandma, right? Yeah, so grandma fell down. guys, so dispatchers answer the phone. And once we answer the phone, we put the information into a computer. We have a lot of computers in front of us. Then we call up the police officers on the radio, and we send the officers or the paramedics or the fire department to you right away. Our response time is very fast, very, very fast. City of Inglewood is only 7.5 square miles, so we'll get there in very, very fast. Does anybody have any questions? Do you have any questions? What is your name? Lillian, okay, all right. All right, anybody have any other questions for us, and me and my partner up here?
I think we're good.
Okay, Mitchell? No? Lillian? Do you have any questions? No? Are you
Oh,
sure?
wait, I have a question.
Okay, go ahead.
Like, this is like, for example, like, say, like, so what if, like, an animal is hurt or something? But, like, okay, no one, but, like, no one will, like, help or anything or something like
So we have what's called code enforcement, and they will come out and help the animal take it where it needs to be. We don't have code enforcement on duty, we send police officers as well. We have an animal hospital that we can take it to, or we have a shelter so that we can find the owners of the animal, okay? It's a good question. Forgot again? It's okay, that's me every day.
I got it.
Okay.
So, like, what if your teacher leaves me?
I would probably talk to mommy or daddy about that.
Yeah, but, like, it happens over and over again.
Okay, talk, yep, that's a good question, but I would talk to mommy and daddy about that.
So what if
Okay.
sorry, it just sounded weird.
Call the non-emergency number for that, or do you?
You could, yeah, and we do, you would, I would say yes, you would call the non-emergency line if it's a dog or animal. Now, or people see a dog get hit, typically they will call 911 to get some and we are okay with that, you know, it's traumatizing to see an animal get hit.
Especially if they're just looking at the person like this.
Any other questions? Do you have any questions, sweetheart? Okay, we're done, we're gonna be in the back of the meeting.
We all say thank you to Julie for working with that. I know some of you all came in late, so I'll kind of reintroduce myself. I'm Dave Jackson, and I'm the chief here in Inglewood, and I've been here since November. This is Stacy Durbin. She's our community relations manager that kind of puts all of this together, and I will say that moving forward, there's kind of two things that are happening at once. We want to make sure that kids are very comfortable coming to the police station and interacting with police things and doing all of that. But we also are going to be coming out into the community to do some other things and some interactions and meet people kind of where they are. We want to have these kind of events to have interaction when things are not at a critical point, and have interaction and just kind of build some rapport, build some community trust, and have a good time. This is all of our community. We have one small part of it, but it's really about how we all interact together. So that's kind of the deal. We do have coloring pages. I colored one. I think it's pretty good, really. I actually do. But stickers and these types of giveaway things, please help yourself to all of this. There's cocoa. If you're allowed to have cocoa and cookies and all of that, I couldn't imagine why you would come to Cocoa with the Popo without wanting the cocoa part. It's way better.
She wanted the cocoa part.
Oh, okay, well, that's great. That's so
I'm not
nice.
like a fan of like really sweet stuff. Like I don't like marshmallows because they're too sweet.
Yeah. I wish I had a quick witted response for that, but I don't. But there are marshmallows over there. If anybody else does, they can have yours. I do want to say real quickly before we leave, this was a presentation about communications, 911 call taking, and some education pieces about that, and geared towards kids. Our communications team does a phenomenal job, and we're so grateful that they're here handling being kind of the first of the first responders to our emergencies. So I thank you all very much, and thank you all for being here. I will give them a thank you. What else? Please.
We do have our Bearcat out here.
Oh, yeah.
It's one of our SWAT vehicles. And so, in about 5-10 minutes or so, I'm gonna have an officer that can walk us out there if you guys want to climb into it and see it and look inside of it. It's really cool.
Can I start the engine?
Probably not.
What if it's got no?
What if we hijack it? Well, that's probably not the best idea. Stealing from the police department.
Fair question. It's a fair question.
You will get shot.
Oh, yeah, you'll end up dead, kid. Tell the truth.
Awesome, thank you guys. Have fun, enjoy, come around. Get some cocoa. Tell me where you got your jacket because it is so good. We think you got everything. So beautiful, really. So beautiful. I cannot stop
That's dispatch why when I gave a description, they told the officers no description.
Kimberly and I have a lot of questions, but clearly they're going to make sure this is the forum designed not for that. For those of you that don't remember or don't know Kimberly's son was shot and killed by Dirk Smith when Kimberly called the Inglewood Police Department for help. So, I don't know. Kimberly, she's just a sweet lady, and we just spend some time together from time to time and talk about stuff, and I don't know.
Kind of bent a little bit.
Yeah,
Comes to exciting events like this.
right. You've been missing city council. Has it been deliberate?
No, I found that I'm going to bingo. It's a little
Right
less
on.
stressful than
Good.
city council
Good.
fighting with them.
Hell yeah, I love it. Right on. So can I talk about what I know publicly?
About
Well, so Kimberly's other son is going on trial in April.
we think.
We think. I don't know. Can we talk about it? And I mean, we're not going to talk about details of the case, but so she, is dealing with potentially losing another son. She's already lost one son because she called for help, and they showed up and shot and killed her son. And the other son is facing attempted murder charges.
Because he was suicidal.
So, as you can imagine, we have some interesting conversations, and I'm sure she's got a lot of post-traumatic stress on the calling the dispatchers for help. We'll send you help. Oh yeah, they sent help, all right.
Oh yeah, they did.
Yeah. And I don't know, people always say if you want to make things worse, call the cops. I don't ever fault anybody for calling for help.
Well,
What does that
whatever.
mean? What does that mean for you now?
I'm not going to ever call the cops again.
For anything.
For anything. I'm just dealing with it myself.
Call a friend.
Yeah, phone a friend. Phone a friend. You'd be safer.
Let's sit at the table.
They just took a bad situation and they made it 100 times worse. 100 times.
By killing. By open firing
23 times.
on her house. And, yeah. And that happened to be Dirk Smith, who some of you have seen. In fact, was the officer that they called to the city council meeting to transport me to jail. You saw that on the live stream that
I
night.
did
Dirk
see
showed
that.
up. Dirk's that 7-foot-tall, lurchy ass white lurch. And in his officer-involved shooting interview, his OIS interview, the interviewer asked him,
Yeah.
what does a typical day look like for you on your shift? Something to that effect, right? I'm paraphrasing.
Driving around stealing from the city.
Yeah, literally. He told the interviewer, oh, I drive around and just steal from the taxpayers. I think I remember the word, was it city or taxpayer?
Stealing from the city.
Stealing from the city. Yeah. after he killed her son. That's what he said in his officer-involved shooting interview. And yeah, he still has a job.
Of course he does.
Yeah, I mean, they all have jobs here. They got a new chief who's going to be interested in trying to be my daddy.
You know, it's your presentation.
Yeah,
You need
it's
to
my
work on
delivery.
that.
I need to ask nicer. I need to,
Please.
yeah, I need to get down on my knees and suck harder. I know. I mean, what guy wouldn't tell a woman that at a kid's event? Whatever. So, at any rate, yeah, I don't know. I didn't know this was a kids-only event.
Yeah, we need to have an adults Q&A.
Yeah, it didn't get advertised. It said bring the kids. But it quickly became a kids event, didn't it?
Oh.
Where'd Josh go? Did he leave? Did Josh just up and split?
I don't know, you might be up there.
His stuff. Well, I don't know, Kimberly. Are you interested in stuff?
I'm absolutely not.
Yeah.
I've had enough of
This is stupid. We're out.
This is dumb.
Nice to meet you. You know who I am. Yeah. Yeah, hi. Yeah, it's not nice to meet you. Mm-hmm. Oh, excuse me. I'm sorry about that. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. So, yeah, she comes up to me, acting like she doesn't know who I am. Yeah, Julie, you know exactly who I am.
Hey, my name's Julie.
Yeah, Julie's the one that entertained Frauditor Troll. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. So that's your dispatch team. It's all the same shit. And for those of you that have followed me for a while, they have a supervisor. Her name's Heather Quizino. Do you remember the Quizino guy on my video? From when they were trying to take her camper?
I do.
Okay, and you remember Officer Quizino? Mm-hmm. The morbidly obese
Yep.
officer? That's his wife. She's the supervisor. She's the head supervisor here for the Inglewood Dispatch. Yeah, he has since left this job. You know where he is now? He's at RTD. Yeah, he's with the RTD Police Department now.
Fitting.
Yes, and he's like a commander or lieutenant or something like that. You guys have seen that.
What are you doing now? I'm Walmart security.
Yeah, essentially. But you know RTD, their own police department. Did you know that chief of police they have for RTD is the highest paid chief in the state of Colorado? Yeah,
For
RTD. RTD. And he came from Fort Worth, Texas. Interestingly, when I was asking you if you knew about Carolina and Fort Worth's channel, yeah, so this guy comes from Fort Worth. He's already got a tarnished thing there. He sued Fort Worth for some employment discrimination thing, and then came here after being awarded, I don't know, some millions of dollars, and comes here to be the chief of police for the RTD, and got put on leave here, unpaid leave, for essentially just showing up to work whenever he wanted, using company vehicles for personal time. I guess he got caught doing like 100 miles an hour somewhere, or was speeding and got caught and didn't tell anybody, and all this just stupid shit.
Well, that's kind of par for course for.
Psychopaths?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean literal
I mean, you
psychopaths.
have police sitting at city council watching football games on their company-issued cell phones.
So I guess Josh just split. He didn't even say goodbye. So, whatever. It's just another waste of time.
That was totally.
I don't know. This chief, I mean, look at him.
Well, he
Really?
he gets along with the kids real well.
Yeah, I mean, shit. Maybe we should nominate him for the principal over here at Inglewood Middle School, junior high, grade school. I don't know. Seems to blend in well.
All the fun little kids
Sit down and tell me, as diversion strategy, after he's been called out about things that he can't answer because he has no clue what the fuck is going on here. I actually sent him an email as well to city council, and I told him that he should really, if he wants to do honest police work, he should start looking for a new job.
Yeah.
And while he's looking for a new job, he should ask Sean, the city manager, why he was lied to. So he's seen that email. And then he has the nerve to sit down. Buddy, you know, look.
And change the conversation and turn it around on you.
Always, right? Men are stupid, for one. Two, arrogant ego bullshit. Not all men are stupid. But arrogant, driven, ego-driven men that think because those kinds of tactics have worked on other women can sit down and really pull that shit with me. And he's lucky I did hold my tongue in front of the children. And in fact, I'm sure that's what he was aiming for anyway, right? They try to find those ways to get a reaction from me because they literally think I'm like the stupidest person on the planet. I love it. I love that they think I'm stupid. I think it's great. I think you should just continue to go through your life thinking that you are way smarter than me, Dave Jackson, being in law enforcement for 28 years. You ain't got shit, dude. I mean, I ain't got shit on you. I mean, you are the king shit.
He's the man.
He's just, you know, I mean. So, at any rate, well, Josh split. Totus is out here now just, Are you going to entertain the children or?
No, we offered. Nobody said anything.
No, none of the kids
None
wanted.
of the kids said anything.
Well, that one kid wanted to hijack it.
Oh, wow.
He asked the question, what would happen if we hijacked it? I kind of wanted to encourage him to do it.
It's not fun to, it's not
It
fun
is,
to drive.
it's hilarious because if that were my
So-
kid, I would have been like, let's head on out there and see how that works out.
Usually the kids, we said, hey, I'm going to go move the Bearcat right now. If anybody wants to come out, and they're all just playing around with their cars and stuff. So
Well, that was a giant waste of gas.
it's one block.
I think you should just leave it out.
I got to put it away. Take care.
All right, you
Have a
too.
good day.
So Sergeant Totus, you know, he does okay. I don't know. This whole department though.
Yeah, I'd be interested to see it.
You wanna? Let's go check it out.
Yeah.
Hey Totus, we need a tour.
You guys want to see it?
Yep.
Let me see what went through my
Stop
fence.
letting people go in it.
Why?
Because there's tools in there.
There's tools.
Yeah, there's
Screwdriver.
stuff that we don't want people to touch. So, in fact, I'll let you peek inside of it real quick, but we stopped letting people go in it altogether.
Kids can't even go
Yeah,
in it now.
I mean, if we sanitize it, but it's not sanitized right now. Sanitize means take
Ew.
everything out. No, not like wipe down, sanitize, like take everything out. There's all of our
Hey.
tools and stuff in there.
Well, this is rather boring.
I'm gonna squeeze by you if you don't mind. I gotta get in there and walk over there real quick. Appreciate it.
Yeah. I don't know. Oh dear, here they come.
Look at us playing nice.
Look at us playing nice. Here come the kids. Here come the kids. Get ready. Get that sanitizer going.
Here they come.
I'm really glad I'm not raising kids anymore. I really feel for my kids. I really do.
All right, take care. Have a good day.
You too.
Oh, are you coming out with something?
Yeah, I just told you. The kids are coming. So there's a school board member right there. That's Devon over there.
Mm.
Yeah.
So this,
Hi.
Hi.
I just want to introduce myself to you. Stacy.
Kimberly Mitchell.
Nice to meet you, Kimberly.
Hi, Stacy. I'm
Stacy.
Regan.
to
Sorry.
meet you.
I'm not. Yeah.
Nice to meet you, Ruby.
Nice to meet you.
Thank you guys for coming. Appreciate
Of course. It's wholly worthless, but yeah. we're glad we got to watch the kids be kids.
Yeah, the kids were cute.
Some of them.
Some of them.
Some of them were cute.
Yeah, one of them I wouldn't take out in public.
Yeah, 2 of them. but look, their mom sends them in the room, and then she goes sit and
she
sits
leaves.
in the hall.
Yeah, daycare.
Yeah. You know, come on. And they don't understand manners, and they were constantly interrupting. Not that, you know, I necessarily, that it hurts my feelings horrendously in a setting like this, but even when my kids were, you know, in school, and the cops, and the cops, they would act stupid with them, and I would still demand it from my kids, right? Because if they're not going to learn it at that age, they're never going to learn it, and they're never going to respect anybody. But they were never taught that there was this expectation of respecting authority.
Right.
That shit was not taught in our house.
Well, I can't wait for the next one.
Yeah, what a blast, huh? Because if you're commanding respect, you don't have to,
There's a problem there.
yeah. Well, Kimberly, it was so wonderful seeing you.
It was good to see you.
Yeah, we need to get together more, and
We'll have to do this again, or
let me know when bingo. I'll go to bingo with you.
You wanna?
I'll totally go to bingo with you.
It's Tuesday nights, every Tuesday night.
Okay.
Well, it's music bingo, not regular bingo.
Oh, do I have to dance?
No, they just play music instead of E7,
Oh!
G4.
Send me a message. Let me know
Okay.
where it's at.
All right.
Really good to see you.
You too, honey.
Oh, you take care. Tell your mom hi.
I will.
Okay.
Be safe.
Yeah, you too. Sorry to waste your afternoon.
Hey,
You could have been doing something.
why not be there? We're here.
Yeah.
I'm not scared of you.
Yep. Bingo! Yeah. Wasn't that funny? Julie acts like she doesn't even know me. But she sure knew all the things to talk to Frauditor Troll about, didn't she? They're just shit. This place is just shit. So... I legitimately wanted to get these questions answered about these issues that exist in these records. But let's go for a little drive and we'll talk about this some more, because I do think it's important and I'd like for it to be a conversation we continue to have. So hang tight with me, please. I'll take a look at chat. Peel out. That'd be funny. Yeah. And I could too. I really could. I'm driving on the wrong side. Yeah, there's a new chief, Brenda. His name's Dave Jackson. He's been here since November. I've seen no results of anything. And same shit, different day. So he's the guy that let Sean Lewis take him into a secret swearing-in ceremony. Y'all remember that day, right? When we came to his swearing in. We did a live stream. And Sean told us that it was a private event. That was funny. So here comes some more kids, like with their parents, so they're getting off work because this is advertised till 5 o'clock. So we're gonna make a drive over here by 5280. We're gonna talk about some of this stuff because a lot of stuff is blown up. That case report was funny stuff, wasn't it? Caggiano. He actually offered to open that up. I just told him he needed to go arrest the mayor because he just violated my constitutional rights, and you swore an oath to uphold the Constitution, and you're not doing it. So, for those of you, I don't know if you remember that, he's like, you want me to just go in there and arrest the mayor? Yeah, I'm not going to do that. Then I talked a little bit more, and he's like, okay, so do you want me to open a case? Oh, yeah, that'd be great. Yeah, why don't you? Do an investigation, and then I would like Aaron Glee to write the warrant for his arrest. That's so rough and ready. He's like, these cops are just, I don't know. How about if you just used Google? Do I have to be from Colorado to make public comment? He probably thinks I do. That's probably how intelligent he is. He probably thinks you have to live in Colorado at least to make public comment at a city council meeting in a city in the United States of America. So he didn't think to Google city of Rough and Ready. He Googled, where is the city Rough and Ready in Colorado? And it pulls up a farm. I wonder if it's a pig farm. What kind of farm is it? Can somebody Google the farm of Rough and Ready in Longmont, Colorado, and let us know what kind of farm it is? So there's no severe weather sheltering going on right now. We're in the highs of about 50 right now, and I think tonight it's going to be in the high 20s. Here, parked on the street here by, right next door to 5280. We're on the street. We're on the public street. I want to read you some stuff. So, when I went to city council the other night, you heard me respond to the two little bimbos that got up there and spewed those lies about 5280. So what they're doing right here, directly, some of them, not all of them, just a handful of them, even blocks away, they've formed this little Mean Girls task force, essentially is what it is. I haven't heard of any men. Well, I take that back. There is one that calls the cops and says some ridiculous stuff. So these are all the case reports that I requested for the 13th through the 27th of January. It's a chemical-free vegetable farm in Longmont called Rough and Ready, huh? Oh, it's a park. Snarky says it's a park. So, I want to read you some things. There's a lot of things in here, okay? But most importantly, this is the stuff that is most concerning. Besides the fact that they're calling anonymously, saying that they're calling anonymously, and they want to report things like, we saw somebody doing drugs. So they send a cop. We saw somebody throw drugs up on the roof of their shed. So they call the cops, and the cops come. So it starts becoming an issue of private property rights, is what it boils down to. And if this shit continues, there will be attorney help. But for now, we will see how things unfold. We will see what decisions 5280 makes with collaborating with the police to some degree. I don't know. I am of the position that they need a team of private security. There is not money for that in this nonprofit right now. And for those of you that love Trump and think he's fantastic, guess what? The whole cutting off the grants and loans programs to federal entities has now doubled down its effect on this nonprofit in Colorado. So to make matters worse from the beginning, when the other nonprofit got a bunch of money from the county, while they did not, now they've been hit again. And on top of that, they are saving lives. Bottom line, in their severe weather sheltering. They are saving lives. They are saving people from frostbite. And people don't like that because they would rather them just not exist at all. People love, they verbally tell you they love helping the homeless, but just not here. You can't do it here. We don't want to see you. We don't like you. We hate homeless people. They scare us. We say they scare us. We're scared. So get out. Well, it's not going to work like that. So, and they think that because the cops are allowing this swatting operation to go on, that it's not going to become a matter of public record. Well, guess what? It is. And so I just paid $100 for all of that. I have names in here. Some names. I have some people calling anonymously. But I want to start with this most troubling one. With Officer Watts. You've seen Officer Watts in my videos before. You've seen Officer Watts in those administrative hearings. You've seen Officer Watts giving me another exclusion notice. Officer Watts is a dumb fucking cop. He's dumb. And he thinks he's super smart. And he's not. And so I know it's all fun and games to call the cops on people. And these people would give no shits if the cops showed up and open fired on all of these people and killed them. They wouldn't care. I care. I care tremendously. So on 1/17 at 9:30 in the morning, this facility was going to open at 10 o'clock for programming and I believe some day shelter. A person by the name of Danielle Gregory calls the Inglewood Dispatch. There are interestingly no call notes in here about what she said. None in this report. In order to get what was said, I have to do a records request for the 911 call, which is audio. And for those of you that have followed me trying to get records from Inglewood, you understand how many hundreds and sometimes thousands of dollars that they're citing me for body cam footage, for audio. On top of, we're so busy, we don't know when we can get this to you. So I don't have the dispatch audio. But I have an incident report where somebody ends up going to jail. And I'm going to read it to you. And it occurred at 1:17 at 9:30 to 10 in the morning. This is from Orion Watts. On 1/17/25 at approximately 9:30 hours, Officer Sanchez and I were dispatched to 3190 South Grant on a report of multiple homeless subjects hanging out in front of Movement 5280 while it was closed. I have been previously advised no one is allowed to be on Movement 5280 property when the business is not open. Really, Watts? Who advised you of that? No one. He's lying. Of course cops can lie. And Officer Watts, in fact, told another woman the other day, and I'll get to that story next, told her it's okay what these neighbors are doing. They can call and lie. It is free speech. Well, Watts is, by training, informing a citizen that yes, you can lie until we tell you you can't lie. We can lie to you all of the time, which we do on the regular, because it's legal for us to lie. These cops are psychotic. Again, this whole idea that normal functioning brains seek to become control factories over other people's movement, there's something wrong with you to want to do that day in and day out. You're not all there. There is no trespass agreement. In fact, Dave Jackson has been invited to come tour this property by the executive staff. He has failed to do so. So, here we are. I've been previously advised no one is allowed to be on Movement 5280 property when the business is not open. Upon arrival, Officer Sanchez and I contacted 5 subjects. Officer Sanchez cleared all 5 in his vehicle and found 1. Raymond had a warrant. All of the subjects on scene advised they thought Movement 5280 opened at 10 and apologized for being there. When the homeless subjects were cleared, they left on their own. Well, how did you know they were homeless? How did you know they weren't here for other services? And also, people like Raymond and others in this report, you 5 individuals that were over here, exercise your right to remain silent. There's no probable cause. You are on private property. Raymond had been contacted by officers earlier, and he had been released on his warrant to the Swedish Medical Center. I asked him if he had been released by the hospital or if he just walked out. He said he was released by officers and told he was free to go. So he thought he could leave the hospital on his own. Officer Sanchez and I, Orion Watts, gave Raymond a courtesy ride back to Swedish Medical Center for his treatment, for his medical treatment. Once at Swedish, he was given a medical clearance for jail immediately. I took him into custody, and then Officers Craig, which Craig is a sergeant. I didn't know. Maybe there's another one. Maybe I'm confused. Officers Craig and Stenberg took him from me. Raymond was then transported to the Arapahoe County jail on his warrant. Gee, I wonder what that warrant was for. Must have been quite the violent crime. So this is Officer Sanchez, badge number 2407. On 1/17 at 9:30 hours, I was dispatched. It's still not clear why they were dispatched. You see the game they're playing? You get to call. Luckily, this particular one has a name on it with absolutely no call notes. None. Why were police dispatched out here? Because some neighbors saw some people on private property? arrived on scene and contacted the following homeless subjects. How did you know they were homeless? Elliot, Raymond, Thomas, Charles, and Adam were the 5 subjects. Upon contact, the parties advised that they were on scene, waiting for the homeless shelter to open at 10. I informed the parties that they are not allowed to loiter around on the property while the shelter is closed. Who told you that you were allowed to tell people on private property what they can and can't do? Sanchez, you idiot. I obtained the identifying information for all involved parties, and after conducting a clearance on them, dispatch advised that Raymond had an active warrant out of Inglewood. It should be noted that Raymond was taken into custody earlier in the day for the warrant by Inglewood officers, but was released as Swedish due to difficulties with obtaining a medical clearance for jail. Adam, Charles, Thomas, and Elliot departed the area upon request, and Raymond was transported back to Swedish Medical Center and arrested on his warrant by Officer Krieg and Stenberg. So, interestingly, this all occurred on a day that the main staff member that deals with the police took a vacation day. And all hell broke loose over here on the 17th. Imagine, if you will. So, on this topic of free speech, let's talk about free speech from the public sidewalk. You see this? This is a church. This is Movement 5280. This is their property. You see how big this property is? You see this? Just so you get a feel for the neighborhood. That house has some cameras on it. This house here, right here, 3161. A call came in from this address the other day. And the call notes talk about a woman. She might be white, she might be Hispanic, but she's driving all around 5280's property. And she's going door to door asking for money. And she's talking to a cleaning crew, don't know what cleaning crew or where, about a house being for rent. And they give a vehicle description that's not even close to the vehicle plate that's named in the report. Well, it turns out they have the right plate number to match this person in this car. But they got to call and say whatever they wanted about this individual, who happened to be a longtime volunteer of this organization. A longtime volunteer, who was in her car driving around the property, checking things out. Heidi Bradley, the cop, comes out here because, you know, they called. And she makes contact with the woman. Again, your right to remain silent or not. I always encourage people, do not talk to the police. What does Heidi Bradley do? She goes ahead and runs all of her information through the NCIC system. And then her and her husband become the subjects of a public police report. Based on a call from this house. So here's their property, so you can get a feel for it. These neighbors are pissed off because they're demanding that this nonprofit pay for surveillance system outside of this entire building. Do you know how much that's going to cost? Then they went to city council, and I'll tell you who in just a minute, and told some lies on the record about what supposedly was going on in a good neighbor agreement that doesn't exist. What does exist is some meetings that this executive staff have agreed to, which have ended up taking hours and hours and hours of their time having to defend themselves. I think it's ridiculous that they're wasting that kind of precious time. However, I applaud them for trying. This is Movement 5280's property. So you can see it in the day. Oh my goodness. Somebody's got a shopping cart on this property. I guarantee you, somebody is taking note of that. And I will be surprised if the cops don't get called. Now, it's always interesting to me how people's private property become everybody's property, right? I've sat here and watched traffic use this as their own thoroughway, their own driveway, traffic from Logan to Grant. People use it as their own personal parking. I've never seen 5280 come out here and start screaming at people to get off their property. I've never seen them being that kind of a shitty neighbor to anyone, right? But boy, oh boy. Allison, right there, down the street, which this is I think it's a public alleyway. Still kind of looking at those plots. Pretty sure it is. But Allison here, she went to the city council meeting. She was the first one to talk about some bullshit about cameras. And how 5280 isn't doing what they're supposed to be doing. Well, 5280 wanted to build a fence right here. Nope, can't do that. 5280 wanted to build a fence here. Nope, can't do that. Because this is their designated smoking area. On a Sunday, 2 weeks ago, during church services, the neighbors made 3 anonymous calls during church. The cops had to come, get people out of church to be shown that there was nobody living in the shed. There was a claim that there's people living in a shed. Then they called again and said they saw somebody doing drugs. Nope, nobody's doing drugs. Then they called again and said somebody threw their drugs up on the roof. They came and got the executive staff out of church again. They climbed the roof and showed the cops that it was a bag of trash. All anonymously. But in the course of that, Allison here, in her home, her beautiful white home with solar panels, comes running out here to tell the cops what she saw. But she didn't call. Somebody else called in their group chat. This is Allison's house. And this is the public alley. Allison spends a lot of time with her binoculars. Right here. Allison never has any video or pictures. And neither does her neighbor across the street. Let's see, what the hell was her name? Oh boy. She was the second one to talk at city council, and she's only called the cops like maybe 10 times. Oh, right there. So here we've got some free speech from the public sidewalk. Well, isn't this a nice Tesla? Look at that. That sure is pretty. Oh, is this where Allison lives? Is this Allison's front door? There's so many important things going on in Allison's life. Oh dear. Is that a broken window up top? I think it's a shadow. At any rate, you know when we did that live stream last week, or a couple weeks ago, when Tina talked about what goes on at the church, and how somebody had gone to city council and said that they were moving a whole bunch of people in here because they had mattresses and stuff like that. Yeah, ironically, mattresses got dumped against the building the next day. Look at that wonderful staff. They're getting ready to call it a day, I think. And I'm just over here enjoying the public sidewalk. Just taking it all in, you know, free speech and all. Now, I'll be doing another records request, and I'll be tracking all of the calls that are coming in for the address right here behind me. And if you want to remain anonymous, go ahead. I mean, go ahead and tell dispatch that you want to remain anonymous. So ultimately, what I am going to do, if this continues into this week, I'm going to take all of these case reports and I am going to file a complaint with the Attorney General, who is much too busy to be paying attention to anything but his run for governor and, you know, filing lawsuits on Trump and immigration and all that kind of stuff. But I'm going to go ahead and document that the Inglewood Police Department is literally allowing a swatting operation to occur on a nonprofit. So that's how that's going to work. Oh, this is one of those Oh, you know, ADU type of things. Uh-huh. Yeah. My house is much too nice to have people walking up and down the street that look like they're homeless. You know, free speech. I can say whatever I want. Free speech. Uh-huh. Why would you build a house like this in Inglewood? Seriously, why? Oh, cute dog. Huh. This tree is interesting in some pictures when it leaves out and what can actually be seen and not from this house. Yeah. Huh. I wonder if everything is up to code here. This is looking a little wonky. Well, I guess it's kind of too bad that Dave Jackson thought he was going to be my daddy at that meeting, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah, so Allison and her girlfriend here and their little chat group on who, how, and when should call the cops and say what, where, when, and how. And they still had broken glass on their property. Oh. Well, listen, bitch. Don't you know you're not supposed to leave the pampas grass all year? You're supposed to cut them down. That looks like shit. Yeah, so anyway. This is the swatting operation block. And, you know, 5280 doing their thing. Property looks good to me. I didn't know I was coming over here. So there won't be any severe weather sheltering tonight. Drive careful! Okay. So, there you go. So, I got a whole lot of reports and a whole lot of names, and I can't remember that bimbo's name over there in the red house. But she's the one that spearheaded up the whole effort to shut down 5280. And this started a year ago. About a year ago. And I kept my eye on it. And severe weather situations hit that prompted some collaboration between my efforts and where we could activate severe weather sheltering. And so that's how this relationship continued to blossom with 5280. But unbeknownst to a lot of people, my organization has been crossing paths with 5280 for the past 5 years. So there's this big slaughter fest going on, I guess, on Reddit of, you know, people in hiding create these accounts. And in this Inglewood group, somebody sent me that. I made a Reddit account one time, and I'm like, this is like MySpace for 5-year-olds. this is stupid. This is just like Nextdoor, where you go and you anonymously talk shit about people. Who has time for that in their lives? I don't know. But so anyway, somebody sent me this chat in Reddit. And so I went on there and I finished my profile and I said, yeah, this is Regan. I don't hide, but you can't even like make an avatar thing in your name. I don't know. Maybe you can. I didn't spend that much time on it, but I put my profile picture on there. And so I started responding to some of the comments of people accusing me of, I do this for clicks and views and blah, blah, blah. Oh yeah. Yeah, totally. Clicks and views. And there are some very good people here. And that I only latch on to homeless people and 5280 for clicks and views, blah, blah, blah. And I let them know, yes, my clicks and views revenue for YouTube is exactly $1,294.33 in 2024. Now, if anyone else is interested in what kind of revenue the nonprofit brings in, make an appointment with me. I'll sit down. I'll show you. But be prepared, because it's going to be a 6-hour requirement, because you're going to see dollars itemized by person and results. I invite you. To date, I've put that invitation out multiple times. No one has ever taken me up on it. That's because my donors know what's going on with my work. I don't take government money. I don't answer to the government. And I owe no one an explanation. So this whole idea and theory that, this is for clicks and views, many of you have heard me say before, this is for awareness, and this is the platform that I have to do it on. It's all we got. So it's what's utilized. So probably 75% of what I do is not on YouTube. And those closest to me in this operation and what I do and how I do it know that. So you won't see Regan making videos for clicks and views. And most of the time, that's why I do lives. So you can see it happening live. So at any rate, I've spent more than that on faulty gimbals this year. I only bought one. That other $5 jalopy that I had that for a long time, and then it broke. So then I spent like $90 of my own money to buy that gimbal that I absolutely hate. So, but then I bought this one with my own money. It's $15, and I like it because I can attach it to stuff. And this is what we used the other night when we went downtown. And it worked out pretty good. It's not very steady, but that other gimbal, that's for like creating content, the content creator things that people put up in their kitchen and have it follow them as they're doing their cooking recipe. So that was definitely a waste of money on that gimbal. I mean, I use it from time to time, but so at any rate, yeah, things are really bad as far as still where this country's headed, what is going on. Colorado. We could talk about that in depth, but I don't want to. I want to stay focused on helping the people that I can with the money that I have. And if the nonprofit needs money, I do ask. And so my nonprofit does need money. However, I don't have a brick and mortar. I'm not running an operation. My nonprofit can sustain. This nonprofit cannot. Movement 5280. So if you can donate to Movement 5280, that would be greatly appreciated. You can go to their website. I don't know if the mods have put that in here yet or not. Yeah, DJ, this church, been here very, very long time. Inglewood Bible Church. It's the old Inglewood Bible Church, if you want to Google its history. So the neighbors are pissed off because they weren't told that this was being bought by Movement 5280. So they rightfully feel they're entitled to shut it down because they weren't involved in the process. Well, too damn bad. Go pick up a hobby, Allison. I don't know. And whatever your name is over here and over here. And potentially this one. Oh, and that one. I don't know. Help a homeless individual. Do something like that. You know, you all claim that you care and that you know you're not here to disparage their work, and that's fine that they're doing that, but the crime rates have risen, and so is finally just fed up and they had to move, and I don't know what in the hell these people have going on in their lives, but they act like they're living. They act like they're living in the middle of war-torn downtown Chicago. I don't get it. And so I don't know. But at any rate, you know, I was going to try to get some of these questions answered today, going to that meeting. It's not like I have not communicated with that chief of police. Okay. He ignored a complaint. He ignored us the day we showed up. And you thought it was a good idea to sit down and start chastising me on my approach to city council when your agency, you know damn good and well, just wrote warrants for me where all those cases got cleared? Dude, go smoke another toke, whatever. I don't know what you're doing. But you're not dealing with an idiot. Maybe that's worked for you in your 28 years in law enforcement. And in Missouri, that won you lots of awards and accolades. But you ain't changing shit with me or with my approach. You're either going to fix this shit or you're not. It's really that simple. So you decide. I see no viable changes over there in that police department. None. The only kind of good thing was Vance Fender wasn't at the city council meeting. You know, maybe the chief told him, "Hey, buddy, you know what? Don't go. Just let me take care of it, because I know she just pushes your buttons, and you're, you know, you do your best, and you know, you're too stupid, because you can't keep your mouth shut. You're a dirty cop, and you should have your ass canned. And I'm gonna write you up every single time you do something stupid until you quit or you're fired." The climate and culture in that police department is sick from top down. I mean, all the way through. It's through and through. It's a mess. Their dispatchers, it's a game. You've seen the videos. I've posted them on my channel. So you can go listen to those. But the bottom line is it doesn't matter. They do what they want. And they get away with it, and we sue, and nothing changes. So I don't know. You know, how much time does a person spend on that kind of hopelessness and disaster? You don't. You and the fact that I still even give them chances to correct their mistakes, it's beyond reasonable. I guess he just thought that was my first public comment. Really? Did? So you took a job here and you didn't do any research online? You didn't type in Inglewood Police Department, Colorado, before you took this job? And watch the multitude of videos about the job you just agreed to take? And you think you're going to show up here and play stupid with me? How patient do you expect me to be? So at any rate, I'm sure there'll be another warrant soon. Who knows for what? I don't know. My attorney actually, I think, is starting to develop a decent relationship with the district attorney in Arapahoe County, in that they have a new elected district attorney. Her name's Amy Padden. The other guy was an idiot. And again, his ADAs just did whatever they want, prosecuted whatever they want, had fun with whoever. If it felt good, looked good, they were doing it. This last case, it was dismissed. And my attorney, I think, has a professional relationship in that office to the point of, hey, next time, Inglewood is going to use you guys to prosecute my client based on a warrant full of lies, untruths, violations of the First Amendment, her free speech, those types of things. Could you give me a call, please? And I think they might have that relationship. I think they might have that going on. We'll see. I don't know. But in the interim, we just carry on. We do the good work where we can, where it's important, and hope that it works out for the best and saves lives. Because these idiots aren't doing it. So, you guys, thank you for being in here. Are all the trespasses lifted? Well, yeah. Yeah, they only did the 45-day ban from the city council chambers based on there's a giant dog taking a giant shit on Allison's sidewalk right now. I wonder if she calls the cops. I mean, that is trespassing. That poor dog. He's like, lady, get that camera off me. Let me shit in peace. So the 45-day ban occurred during the attempted criminal prosecution of me for trespassing, for disruption of a public meeting, failure to leave. But none of what they did was constitutional anyway, right? So I will be taking next steps. It takes some time. I've got to organize some stuff. There'll be some changes happening, but they take time. I don't know why people think, you just file lawsuits and like there's this magic fix, because there's not. Because if there were, everybody'd be doing it. And if it worked like that, government wouldn't be this out of control. So it just takes a little bit of time to make that stuff happen. Yeah, Batman, good to see you in here. Thank you. The dog was watching the video and decided to come on over and leave a little present for Allison. Which, by the way, the mayor violated his rules again when Allison and her girlfriend spoke, and then I spoke. He didn't name her cross streets or address because she lives in Inglewood. So he didn't have to do that, and he botched her last name on purpose because he knew, because he's the dipshit putting him up to it. Oh, and by the way, yeah, he just lives down the street. I forgot about that little important piece. Forgot to tell you about that. Fruit bat ear boy, Mayor Othaniel Sierra. Yeah, he doesn't like the Movement 5280, if you will. And personally, I'm quite sure that there's some underground movement with a developer. You see the piece of this property? It's very pretty, isn't it? Maybe Allison would prefer like a nursing home or something like that here. Like a 5-story one. I don't know. But at any rate, yeah, I'm definitely pretty on board with there being an attempted land grab involved as well. So, yeah, but Mayor Fruitbat Boy, he just lives on Logan Street, right down here on the corner. I can't remember that cross street. Maybe we'll have to save that for next time. Bye, guys. Have a good night.